light. Hold on, I gotta get things adjusted. And I realized that my light here in this house is crap, so that's okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hold on. Okie dokie. I'll wait for people to filter in. If I had a better, I wish I had like some sort of light at this house, but alas, I do not. No light. Let's see here. OMG, yes, OMG. I agree. We're back playing Katawa Shoujo. Let me know if you can hear everything okay, because I kind of had to adjust all my sound for something earlier, so yeah. Hold on, it's gotta. OMG. Let's see. Anyway, I am going to get started now. So yeah, please let me know if all the sounds okay. Load, let's see, so 840. 840, we are at correct procedure. It's going good, Roman Viking, how about you? I stand and moving in front of the door to the nurse's office for what feels like at least a dozen minutes or so. It's not like I've never entered the small beige room before, nor is it because of any feeling of childlike anxiety over the visit. Maybe it's because the nurse's office is akin to a confessional, an admission that my body is flawed. Did they take forever to send? Oh, I'm sorry. You're good. The knowledge that such a fact is kept entirely confidential between the nurse and me hardly lessens the feeling. Remembering that the bell, the signal at the end of lunch break will sound soon, I give a sigh and open the door. The burden will stay with me just this while longer. This bro. Well now, if it isn't Nakai, good to see you. Or bad, I guess, considering that I'm a nurse. He gives a small laugh amused at his little joke. I find his humor lacking and somewhat off, but the fact that he can make light of such a situation is perhaps comforting, or at least distracting. Hot nurse. Sex icon. His brief episode of entertainment over, he... Why do you want him? You have Akira. He claps his hands together and gets down to business. I take a seat as he gestures for me to do so. I wish the classrooms had seats this comfortable. I can feel my mind wandering as my eyes quickly scan the room. What is on his screen right there? What is that? See that computer screen? What the heck is that? Ew. What is that? But Roman Viking, what is on his screen? I can't tell. It looks like a frog baby thing. Let me get closer. I can't tell what that is. Anyway. Alrighty, so what brings you here? I haven't seen you often, so I assume your health's been good so far? Well, mostly. I see. Your smile drops that trail off. I feel slightly guilty about it. No, be nice to my baby girl. It's these moments where I can't rationally call myself normal that make me so reluctant to see the nurse. They're an admission that I'm different from everyone else. While I was on a trip during the long weekend, I had a few problems with my heart. Ooh. He hums very seriously and nods he does so, urging me to go on. I think it was as I was walking a fairly long distance. I think the right term for it is a heart flutter. I suddenly went weak at the knees and felt almost like I was having a small heart attack, but it passed in about half a minute. Even afterward, though, I felt pretty fatigued and nauseous. Not good. Look at it. He looks so, not good at all. That was how many days ago exactly? Did you do anything unusual aside from exerting yourself before the episode? Were you taking your medication properly? The nurse switches from awkward jokes to serious health professional mode, rattling off questions, making notes, and calling up stuff on his computer. I tell him about my forgetting to take my pills that morning and then preceding evening. It was a stupid thing to do, but I can't change anything about it now except answer honestly and bite the bullet. Oh, he's like, no. His seriousness evolves into a frown, and the talk evolves into an instant checkup. Excuse me. I finish buttoning up my shirt and again get motion to take a seat in front of the nurse. Is this the first heart problem you've had since coming to Yamaku? I've had short pains in my chest before, just a couple of times, but they were more discomfort than anything like this. He leans back in his chair, briefly resembling a white-coated pyro as he mulls over the mysterious case of the heart flutter. Moving his lips from side to side to show he's thinking, his non-existent mustache wiggling, he eventually comes to a conclusion. The frickin' nurse! Well, you survived it. That's always on the plus side. He's all blushing. I think at this one, the nurse is wearing his got you face. It's actually somewhat reassuring. I don't think he would crack jokes if things were really serious, so I keep silent and take my lumps. I'll have a talk to your doctor, but right now I expect simply due to physical exertion. Have you been keeping up with regular exercise like I directed you to? I make sure to walk a reasonable amount every day. It's usually enough to work up a bit of a sweat, but then again, I'm not really as fit as I used to be. That should be enough then. The main thing to keep in mind is to regular stress exercise, not short bursts of sprinting as such. Boom, 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 boom. I understand. Since leaving the hospital, I've been a lot more focused on my studies, partly to take my mind on not being able to do more physical things. It's good to hear you're coping well. Sudden lifestyle changes can be hard at the best of times, so I'm pleased to hear that you sound like you have everything in order. Almost everything, that is. Nevertheless, I want to keep a close eye on you for a while. He wants to stalk me, just for observation's sake. Just to make sure things aren't going downhill, you understand? That's something I didn't want to hear. Since coming to Yamaku, all I wanted to do was live a normal life as much as possible. Observation was one of the words I came to hate most during my hospital stay. For so long, I felt as if I could just have walked straight out of the hospital doors, if not for the observation. No, I don't. I don't want that, actually. The doctors wanted so dearly. Sure, should I come in more often? He checks a calendar next to his computer, what seems to inflict on him a nasty case of furrowed brow. He spins back toward me after that. The summer holiday is a bit of a pain considering the timing. I'll check with the doctor to try and get a better handle on the situation and see how he wants us to proceed. But I think you should just take things slowly, carefully for now. What you're describing doesn't immediately sound like a recurring event, but it won't hurt to slow down down a bit for a while just to make sure. What should I do for today? He looks over my shoulder at the clock hanging over the door. I'd never have noticed it if I hadn't followed his gaze. It's nearly time for school to be over, so you may as well just leave early. He gives me a sly wink, making sure that I understand he's doing me a favor. Well, nurse's orders. Thanks. That's what I'm here for, after all. I know you might not want to hear this, but you can't ignore your condition. Don't hesitate to see me if you have any further problems, or if you have anything you just want to ask. Bye. He spins around and gets back to typing on the computer in front of him. I suppose I'll just read before waiting for Lily by the gate, considering that I don't have much else to do. Even as I leave, his words echo in my mind. My condition isn't something as limiting as many of the others here in Yamaku. I don't want to burden Lily with thinking about it. Oh, Lily. If I just live life normally and avoid any short, sharp shocks, I should be okay. I won't let my condition rule me. Aww. Baby! Rose, what's up? What's with the face? Lily comes into view after the bells heralding the end of the day. School day. I cannot read. Good lord. She says farewell to a number of her classmates headed in the other direction before beginning her weekly trip to the convenience store. Afternoon, Lily. The minute warm smile and relaxed demeanor she assumes upon noticing my presence. Why? I love this game so much. It's so good. And unexpectedly welcome. I think it's slower, but I'm really loving the characters. Like, the characters are making me really invested. This is my Thursday game, Rose. Hello, Hisao. Good afternoon to you, too. Oh, she's getting in closer. She hesitates for a second, but eventually deigns to tilt her face forward and close her eyes. My lips meet hers. Yes. With hers, it's a measure of slight trepidation before we move off hand in hand. It is weird, but that's what makes it. That's why it's so good. Like, it's interesting, but I love it. The fact that we're so close in height is somewhat useful at times, there being no need for either of us to turn our head upwards or downwards or to meet the others. Aw, how beautiful. It doesn't take much time to leave the noise of the other students far behind us, the tapping of Lily's cane and her free hand the only sound to be heard. I do want to know a weird but good game, yes. Silence, blissful silence, but is all that greets us while slowly walking the setting sun's light. I think I'm coming to really like this town. Trombone champ, what the heck is that? I don't know if I should be concerned or the huge oh my god! The huge green hilly expanse, the trees everywhere and somewhat rustic little buildings. So you've come to appreciate the tranquility of it well as I think so. I came from a metropolitan city near Tokyo, so the quiet of this town really alienated me when I first started. After a while it became really nice though. I think I prefer it to the hustle and bustle of my home city now. Sweet, I shall watch it once I'm done. Well, I preferred the quiet of such a rural town even when I first arrived. I suppose I had the advantage growing up in a quiet area before I came. Was it quiet with Akira? Hanako said the surroundings are very pretty too. Lily may say such a thing quite easily, but each time she mentions how others describe sights around her as beautiful or pretty, I feel a little put off. Excuse me. I noticed her expression becoming one of anticipation for some questions or another. She always... Oh my god. Oh my god. She always had a good sense for when somebody's not saying something that's on their mind, so I might as well speak up. I was kind of wondering how to put this. Do you ever regret that you can't see what things look like for yourself? It's just something I've been thinking about. She thinks carefully for a time. Do you ever regret that you can't hear people whispering on the other side of a room? I can only speak for myself, but the fact that I can't see is the only way I've experienced life. Just as I cannot do something you can't do something that I'm capable of. The fact that the world is made for those who are sighted can be... Hey, Huck Stuff! What's up? The fact that the world is made for those who are sighted can be a pain sometimes, but there are many, many people who suffer much more than I because of the way the world is. That does make sense, but still, it just feels kind of bad to describe something that you can't experience to you. She tilted her head quizzically as I just said something that makes very little sense at all. But I can experience it. You just said yourself that you like this area because of the way the surroundings are. I like this area for the very same reason. Thanks to the fact that this small rustic town surrounded by trees, it gives some peace and quiet away from the din at school and the bustle, not to mention the smells of the city. I suppose it would be much like the home she shared with Akira as well. Her outlook on it seems pretty sensible. I'm not surprised that she's got a much better handle on her particular condition than I do on mine. Just like how her coming from a location... You are... Yes. Similar to Yamaku's surroundings, let her become... I can't talk right now. I can't talk. In a short time, being born blind affected her stance by her own admission. I should stop being so annoyed with myself over it. I can't take the feeling that I depend on Lily far too much, given the circumstances most have had to deal with in Yamaku. That makes a lot of sense. You're pretty good at explaining, as always. Come to think of it, where's Hanako anyway? She was with us for lunch. It seems she's busy studying. The exams are far from over, and she said she wants to do better this year than the last. While I admire her work ethic, she's really been trying to give us a lot of room alone recently. She's that type of person, I think. The kind that puts others' needs above her own at every chance. She's a sweet girl, even though so much has hurt her in the past. Baby! I don't know. It feels like it's only now when she's less close to me than ever that she's truly finding herself. Oh, painful history. It was thanks to you that she began to become more confident after all, not me. Oh! I take my hand from hers and gently place it on her head. The important thing is that you were there for her. I can't even imagine what she'd be like without having found someone like you. That much became obvious while you were in Scotland. We're all still friends, so we've just got to have faith in her. I think she'll become a good person, And that much is thanks to you being there for her when she most needed it, just as you were there for me. This is so sweet. It makes me feel a bit childish when you sound so wise. Well, I try. Are you doing anything on the weekend by any chance? Nothing that comes to mind. Why? Then how about a date on Sunday? It'd be something to do besides exam preparation. Countering my rapidly beating heart, she simply smiles and nods. No, no! That would be lovely. Where would you like to go? Her face line changes to one of disapproval. You can't do that, Hasao. That's cheating. Do what? A gentleman should never ask a lady where to have a date. Oh. Her smile, quickly comes back, assuring me that she's far from serious. Don't worry about it. I'll think about where we could go. I'll leave it to you then. I promise to decide on the next date, though. With our plans for the weekend made, the rest of the walk down the hill continues in silence. The prospect of that lasting for any length of time, however, is shattered as I catch sight of a familiar figure waiting for us, her hand held high. Oh my god, it's Akira! Akira! Roman Viking, you better look, it's your wife. Yo. Thank you, please come again. The change in temperature as I step outside from the convenience store sends a chill up my spine. It feels like summer's starting to wind down. Looking to my side, the same feeling seems to affect Lily as well. Though unlike me, she doesn't manage to hide the fact. Something I didn't realize at first how physically delicate she was, even compared to the likes of Hanako. If I had described her, I'd say that she has to remind me of a China doll. Akira walks up behind her and gives a couple of hard pats on her shoulder, much to Lily's consternation. Sneak attack. For a moment, she looks as envious of my status as an only child as I am of their close relationship. They talk between themselves for a few moments as they sort out my bags, their voices too low for me to catch. Look at her, she's like, But eventually they break off and begin to walk back to the school. Ah, it feels good to be out of that damned office. You kids don't know how good you have it here. Kids. Shh, you too then. Kids grow up so fast nowadays. You're not old enough to say that. Look at how cute they both look. They're so cute. I don't know. Being around Hedekai makes me feel so damn old. He's so precocious. He reminds me of you when you were younger. He's a nice boy. It would be a shame if Shizune comes to have too much of what's on him. Oh my god, this is great. Akira gives an amused snort at her sister's I can't talk. She really doesn't. Poor Shizune. She really doesn't seem to regard as much as anything that is serious. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. She really doesn't seem to regard it as anything to make a serious fuss about, treating it more like a childhood spat. Shizune is so funny. She looks over to me, apparently only just remembering that I'm here, and gives a small grin as she reaches toward her back pocket. What is it? Just a sec, let me dig it out. After quite some difficulty, she managed to retrieve her black leather wallet from her back pocket, quickly fishing out what looks like an old folded square of paper. With Lily all but unaware of what's happening, Akira unfolds the scrap and hands it to me. Oh, what? An old photo of what looks to... Oh my god! What's going on? What looks to be a younger Lily and Shizune operating a noodle stall with some other girl in the background. She looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite pinpoint why. I want to know, what is it, Akira? I think you know. Lily mulls this over for a few months before realization dawns on her. Akira, you really needn't. It's fine, isn't it? Besides, it's like the only photo I have of you two since you entered Yamku when you're not at each other's throats. I look back to the photo in my hand. That girl looks like it reminds me of Ebe. It does seem strange to see Lily and Shizune working together so I don't know. Is it like, I don't know. Without any sign of animosity. If the photos of them during Yamaku's festival, that means it must have been taken 1 or 2 years ago. In other words, the time they're both in student council together. Who's the girl in the back? She looks kind of familiar. Misha? Ha, I knew you wouldn't recognize her. It's Misha before she went and dyed her hair pink. Misha! That's Misha? No way. That's so crazy. It feels extremely strange to see Misha without her, so that's... She doesn't... I love Yasminka, what a baby! Without her so very distinctive hairstyle. Judging from Akira's tone, she doesn't take favorably to Misha's idea of fashion. I suppose that fact just accentuates how odd the situation looks. To think they were so friendly in the past, I wish I could do something to mend their relationship. You're being very quiet, Hisao. It just feels kind of strange to see you all so friendly like this. Lily and Moose say something but stops herself. In the end, this doesn't matter for me. It's between Shizune and Lily and nobody else. Things change, unfortunately. Look how cute Lily. They look so cute. That's Misha. Oh my god. I hand the photo back to Akira, who sighs as she folds it up and slides it back into her wallet. A little memory quietly hidden away to be pulled out again sometime later. Yeah, that they do. Aww. Initially, I think Akira's reaction to be simply in response to the situation between Lily and Shizune, but she looks oddly glum compared to what I'd expect. Oh no, she's sad. Lily's expression has clouded as well. What's wrong? Oh no! It's just that I'll be going to Scotland fairly soon. You're leaving for Scotland again? For a long moment, Akira looks surprised. It's an ill-fitting expression for her. After a glance at Lily, she turns back to me as if she'd never done so. Oh. Oh no. Poor Lily. In a couple of weeks, I'll be leaving for Inverness to work at the company's headquarters. It's a pretty big jump in corporate position. It's not a chance that's going to come again. Roman Viking, you're moving to Scotland? Oh no. Oh no. So Akira's going to leave Japan. What seems to be a permanent basis. Oh, she looks so sad. I can't help feeling this, my assumption that we could all happily while away our days. Having fun in this isolated little world is coming to an end. It's unsettling. Oh, I look at Lily, mildly surprised she hasn't told me such a thing despite usually being so forthcoming. She continues to walk with her face fixedly pointed ahead. I can't read her expression, nor can I even guess what's on her mind, which is discomforting given how easy it is for me to do both. It reminds me of the time when met at the Shanghai just before we could be called our first date. At the time, all I could do was comfort her without knowing the cause, and now it feels no different. This is so sad. Oh, as we finally reach the school dormitories once again, there's a somewhat, awkward silence. I don't think I'm the only one who feels it. See you tomorrow then, Lily. Bye, Akira. Good night, Hisao. See ya. And with that, they walk to the female dormitories. Opening the door to the male dormitories and stop and look back at them just moments before the figures disappear behind the heavy wooden door. That was a strange moment when Akira said she was leaving. While that wasn't the first time when my thoughts regarding my new life had been called into question, it's perhaps the first time to do it so profoundly. She's going to feel okay, good. I still don't know what to make of Akira's reaction, much less of Lily's. The night's chill reminds me to get back to get back to my room before I catch something. My bag's pulling down on my arms, assumingly redoubled weight. If anything else, I have a date with her to set up for the weekend. I just need to stop overthinking stuff and get on with the things as they are. The exams are still all going after all, and with the trimester's end and the summer's holidays beginning soon, there'll be plenty to keep me busy for a while. Me too, and I give a yawn and she my thoughts turn to what Lily will decide to set as the location of our weekend rendezvous. Okay. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is about the last thing I had in mind when Lily said she decided where to have our date. Nor man nor woman is dressed in anything but their finest, their formality only matched by that of their surroundings. Rich red wallpaper adorns the walls as the city lights far below flicker and glow. Oh, this is so cute! Chill music. Combined with the ambient hum of quiet speech and the high-pitched clattering of cutlery and wine glasses. Hold on, my nail broke. The mood is very formal, yet relaxed enough for me not to feel too uptight despite this being our first real date. Once it gets red velvet, okay, I'm gonna test your knowledge. You are so right. Let's save. Yes, you want to overwrite a save. Okay. Who's being weird, me or Roman Viking? Once it gets seated, I waited, leaves to attend the others with a quick bow. After an appreciated nod from Lily. He's so funny though. Far from depending on my help, Lily has managed to navigate herself around surprisingly easily so far, despite the unfamiliar environment. A light brush here and there, she's generally quite deft at orienting herself as needed. Oh! My eyes look to Lily's. I can tell from her face that she's listening to her surroundings just as hard as I'm looking. Though truth be told, my eyes are lingering on her each time they sweep across the room. The red, that word she's wearing, accentuates her figure very well and shows off her legs. Ooh. Even her hair is done up and the scent of perfume is just noticeable. While my black suit may be rental, I'd managed to select an appropriate one. It feels surprisingly comfortable considering I've so rarely worn one. It fits the setting just as well as Lily's attire. Oh, this is so cute. I guess this is a new experience for both of us then? She turned somewhat sheepish. Look at her, she's so cute! I've never come to a place like this, to a place such as this before. No, me too. One hell of a first date, that's for sure. It's going to be pretty hard for me to top this. A small giggle, even though our nervousness is dissipating. Oh. Her hand skates along the center of the table until it touches the menu, which she takes in both hands and brings to her face. A sow. As she lowers the beige laminated sheet to swirl lower eyes, I can see another sheepish look. I doubt asking the waiter for a menu in Braille would be productive. I can read it out for you, no problem. I take mine and give it a quick read, my small grin faltering. Perhaps there is. Oh, she looks so pretty. What's wrong? There are quite a few items on here and I'm not completely sure how to pronounce a couple of them. One fine cuisine after another is listed. Most may be in Japanese, but a few are in English and French. I guess it's to be expected, but I have no idea what's in some of these. She is pretty! Oh, this one I didn't recognize. Wait, hang on. You can cook that? A small giggle of amusement comes from behind the paper sheet. Well, I could read them all out, but it'd take a few hours. Is there anything with some kind of fish in it? Let's see. No. Aren't those poisonous? No. They eat that stuff? No. Ah, here we go. A tuna salad seems to be a good bet. From the picture, it looks like it'd be pretty filling as well. That seems to be a reasonably safe option. Let's order 2 then. I'm pretty sure a couple of these dishes are from poisonous animals. I've had enough deadly run-ins for now. Lily maintains a smile, but there's a distinct lack of laughter. Black humor mustn't be her cup of tea, although to be honest, I don't find it exceedingly funny either. There are certainly quite a few interesting smells wafting about. The same is true of the sights, I assume. I've never been anywhere quite like this. A fancy Japanese tea house on occasion or two, but never anything this lavish nor near European in styling. Before another word can be said, a portly waiter. It does look nice, but I don't like seafood that much. Like, I like shrimp, but I don't like fish, so I don't know what I'd eat. A distressingly tight vest appears at our table to take our orders. Provincial tuna salad, please, too. I hope I didn't mess up the pronunciation of that too badly. Even if I did, he doesn't show it. And may I have a glass of Chardonnay, please, Hisao? Oh, same. As the waiter wait, how old are they? As the waiter nods and leaves, I suddenly realize what I say by absentmindedly mimicking Lily's answer. I regret it pretty quickly. Yeah, fish is gross, but shrimp is so good. Alcohol? Only a bit. The girl has an odd propensity to getting hooked on things, I swear. Surprisingly didn't ask for identification. Then again, I guess we both do look mature for our age. I'll have to take your word for it. This isn't what I'd call the type of place to ask such things, though. Ew! Gross! Fish sticks! Nasty! Good point. We both relax a little to our seats, trying to take our minds off the choking formality of the surroundings. As we do so, the waiter appears at a table with 2 empty glasses and a bottle. Cookies are yummy, the contents of which are quickly and professionally poured into the former. Aww. We both nod politely as he leaves, Lily taking her glass and gently moving it from side to side. Ooh, fancy. The liquid inside glistens as it moves around in a glass. Her hands. And I have to admit it makes a little less regretful for ordering the same. I guess it must take an effort to judge how the liquid inside is acting based on only its center of balance. Maybe it's like her origami, taking every little chance to practice her dexterity. I guess I'm not surprised that you know about a place like this. Straight panic. Those who have money would, I suppose. This reminds me of how completely different our upbringings were. In Yamaku, it's easy to forget about social and economic disparity between students, all wearing the same uniforms, living in the same dormitories. Well, Akira was the one to tell me of it. You're good, Huckstuff. She's come here before, apparently. So that's what they were conspiring about on Friday. Are you you chastise me for cheating? That's not cheating. It's simply making use of personal context. If you say so. Still, I get the feeling that you're more familiar with this kind of restaurant than I am. She's like, She pauses a moment, a wistful look on her face before softly smiling. The compliment seems to brighten her mood. Oh, you can thank my formal school for that. If I were to appear any less, they'd be gravely disappointed. She has mentioned her previous schooling before, but now I'm kind of curious. She seems to think a lot about her past, so I don't see any problem in asking. What was that like? It was prestigious, all girls, and Catholic. These facts made my parents choose it for me. Many wealthy families sent their daughters there. From how it sounds, life there must have been pretty strict. I wouldn't say it was a bad experience, but you're quite right, it was very strict. Thankfully, I managed to adapt well enough to make a number of friends. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for my sister. She found the atmosphere and religious aspects suffocating and ended up leaving for a job as soon as she was able to. Akira's like, no. She gives a small self-deprecating chuckle. I shouldn't complain about it, though. Not many even have the chance to go to such a school. She doesn't need this. Do you resent your parents for sending you there, then leaving? She gently shakes her head. My family is highly patriarchal. Oh, my father, business always on his mind, was entirely lost as what to do with me. Oh. In the end, he made the decision that my education was higher priority than staying with the family. He simply did what he thought was best. To say such things so easily. What an unbelievable girl. That said, I'm a little surprised she doesn't think her blindness played any part at all, though maybe I'm being too harsh on her family. You're too kind-hearted, you know that? Most would hate their parents for something like that. Well, some do. Blizzard's my raised eyebrow. She takes a sip from her glass. The wine slips down effortlessly, her fondness for evidently helping her deal with the flavor of alcohol. I can't say the same goes for me. What of yourself? What was your schooling like? Mine? Let's see. It was a fairly normal public school, I suppose, maybe a bit busier than the norm. I did quite well in class and played in the soccer club. Since I am an only child and my parents both worked a lot, I wasted most of my free time and money at the arcade with my 3 friends. No matter how much I played, though, I never did manage to beat Maya at any of those machines. Even Takumi and Shin lost to her whenever they tried. Then I'd be left trying to be the responsible adult when Shin and Mai fought again. Just the 4 of us aimlessly enjoying our childhood. Those are some pretty silly times. I kept myself as I realized I was starting to zone out, the days of my old school disappearing into the night sky and bright city lights outside the window. Lily's face is an odd mixture of curiosity and sympathy. Given her strict schooling, I suppose something like this would seem an interesting contrast to the only life she's known. It sounds like your previous school was a lot of fun. I'm not really sure how much of it is nostalgia, but there are some nice memories. Excuse me. And that's in the past, though. I can't go back there now, but through my accident I found a new life I never have imagined leading. The peace and calm in Yamaku, a new direction for my future in science, the friendship of Shizune, Misha, and Hanako, and most of all, you. Oh. She gives a deep, genuine smile as she moves her hands toward me, her fingers just slightly searching out my face before softly caressing my cheek. Yes. Well, Roman, that's definitely for you. Oh, her hand reluctantly retreats after a second of warm silence as we notice the waiter arriving with our meals. Lily does a deft job of covering her condition except for the fact that her nod to him is slightly misaligned due to his silence. She really seems to work hard at appearing as normal as possible in public. While I noticed it long ago, I still can't gauge whether it's a want to not be treated differently, a slight sense of vanity, or a mixture of both. Aw, she's so pretty. The dish served lines up to the salad name and the portion's pleasantly large. With sliced eggs and tomato, it looks enticing indeed. Lily takes her knife in one hand and a fork in the other, quickly getting to work on the dish as I do. It's later than when we usually have dinner, my little sister-in-law, so we're both eager to dig in. My cautious skewering of leaves and vaguely meat-like squares with my fork is matched by Lily's silent and measured prodding and chewing. Oh, she's so cute! The occasional tap around the sides of a piece of the food to work out its edges is the only give way to her lack of sight. I'm done with my meal in little time, Lily taking the last few bites. I sit observing her. Finished, Sal. Yeah, it was pretty nice. That much is very true. I never thought a simple salad could be so tasty and filling. But then again, I suppose that's why it costs so much to eat here. Dude, do you have the money? Content with my appraisal and evidently agreeing, Lily gives a small nod. You know, given that you're part of foreign, exotic looking and quite pretty, I'm surprised that nobody's ever confessed to you before. You're assuming nobody did. The simple statement takes me off guard. I shouldn't be surprised given that I was comforting her just moments before. Really? I received several confessions both in the school and at my previous one. Adolescence is a funny time. She's kind of talking as if she's above it herself. Huh, how easily you say such a thing. That's funny. Lily looks surprised for a moment before a playful smirk covers her face. Is that jealousy? What? No, it isn't. You're a bad liar, Hasao. You should take that into account. Then again, I do appreciate how sincere you are, even if you don't intend to be sometimes. I think your honesty will always serve you well when dealing with others. I clear my throat in mock disapproval of this whole business and try to steer the conversation elsewhere. To tell the truth, though, I do prefer solitude to being surrounded by others. I don't think I can maintain a social circle like you do. She contemplates this for a moment. I don't think that's true either. I've seen how gentle and caring you are around Hanako, and you get on marvelously well with others, even those whom you hardly know. I think you're quite adept at social situations. But on that note, what of your confessions, Hasao? I'm sure someone like you must have had at least one admirer. No. As I open my mouth to speak, I can feel my face turn slightly dour. At times of this, I secretly appreciate the fact that she can't see my expressions. Just one. Her name was Iwanako. It was when she confessed to me that I had my heart attack. They were in the woods during winter. Lily finds herself speechless, not expecting for the topic to move in such an area. My condition has always been something of a concern for her, something that I strive to minimize despite my biased best efforts to the contrary. Afterwards, she visited me for a while. Right? Exactly right, literally. For a week, she came in and talked. It was usual to small talk or classroom gossip, but that was enough. But eventually, she just stopped coming. She was there every day, then every other day, then once a week, then finally one day she just stopped visiting entirely. Did you ever see her again? Wrapped in my own little word, I shake my head before remembering the futility of the gesture. I'll mention the letter, let's be honest. The memory of that single letter Iwanaka sent me comes back to my mind. I never saw her again, but after I sent to Yamaka, she wrote me one letter. Good, yes. Honest. Lily shows an expression I know well. It's piqued her interest. I'd be slightly offended that simply a matter of curiosity for her, but she's never been very good at masking her reactions. In hindsight, it didn't really say much. What was going on in my old class, how she was faring, and almost as an afterthought that it was probably best for the both of us that we don't see each other again. After reading it, I ended up reassessing a lot of the things I managed to work out. For the most part, that letter reminded me that the world around me was still moving and just how much I'd become isolated from it. And I guess it almost also reminded me of what I'd lost. She's like, She gives the information some thought before her face lights up in realization. No doubt she's worked out that it was that letter which I contributed to my angst during that lunch on the rooftop. It's a rare sight to see Lily quite so lost for words. Her entire persona is a little deflated from her earlier rapt interest. as charismatic as she is, in the end that isn't any replacement for a life no relationship experience. Perhaps it is better she sent it than not. How's that? It can be a bit difficult to work out how to best communicate with those you haven't in a long time. Haven't met. All the more so considering your separate situations. Instead of doing what was easier, she built up the courage to talk to you one last time. Not only for her sake, but from how it sounds for yours as well. Maybe I don't hate her for it, not that I ever really did, but I don't know. Probably a more non-committal answer than I should give, but it isn't without cause. I've never looked at the situation from a perspective like that before. Seconds pass in silence before Lily speaks again. Moving to Yamaku must have been hard for you, having your friends and even your girlfriend taken from you all for no fault of your own. The worst of it passed while I was in the hospital. When all that surrounds you is 4 white walls and a small television, your mind takes on a life of its own. It's like my old school, I guess. I try not to dwell on what's happened and keep thinking ahead. All that reminiscing does get me down. It's largely thanks to you that feels like things are finally getting back on track. That's pleasing to hear, Hisao. She lowers her face slightly, her expression pensive. I guess I went too far and embarrassed her. I'm gonna cry! I suppose you went through something a bit like that when... I thought I saw a spider, sorry. There's a bit like what I did when you entered Yamaku anyway, right? I imagine the vast majority of our school students did after all. You said yourself that you made friends in your old school. I can't imagine many followed you. Aww. Lily's deep smile drops, her expression unexpectedly darkening. Even her hands retreat to her lap. After a long while, she speaks. Hisao, can you promise not to tell anyone else I'm about to? I promise. She looks slightly taken aback by my serious tone, but then relents and smiles weakly before continuing. When I removed to Yamaku, I did regret losing the friends I had at my other school. But there was one person who I most regretted seeing again. He was the reason I took up English as a future career. Considering she came from an all-girls school, that can't have been a schoolmate then. Wait. Don't say Kenshi, I'm gonna fight you. I rejected the confessions I would receive until then for him. Every time I improved my English skills, his praise was my most treasured reward. It's funny, isn't it? Someone like me able to boast about the people who have set eyes on me. Kenji is that really annoying guy that I hate, liking someone so utterly unattainable as my tutor. It truly is the most ridiculous thing. Did you? She quickly shakes her head from side to side. I couldn't. Even then, I knew it was impossible. A silence reigns over both of us. This does seem to explain her ardent focus on her future in teaching English, but I can't help thinking of her confession to me. Aww. She lost it without ever letting her fears be known. Feelings. Did she somehow fear that would happen again, but with me? I don't really know what to make of it. I've heard of such relationships before. Taboos born of such things as puberty and youth. Oh jeez. Oh god. The fact that she had the good judgment not to act on it, though, is heartening. I know this must sound strange, but please, don't think of me. Why would I think of any less of you for that? To be honest, I think you must have been a very nice person if you liked them so much. Not only that, but you stopped yourself before going too far. For a moment, she looks somewhat lost. Most unexpectedly, though, it's a second before she starts to laugh. The sound takes me off guard. It's not a giggle nor a strained chuckle, but honest and genuine laughter. I find myself smiling, not just her display of relief and happiness, but for her to trust me enough to let me see this most private of secrets. Before I realize that I feel her palm touching my face. Her touch is gentle as ever, with her thumb slowly stroking my cheek. You're kind, Hisao. I really do love you. Seeing her face like this with her palm gently caressing my face, I think tonight has been a wonderful night. I guess we both have pretty weird pasts, eh? I think by most standards, our present is rather odd as well. I smile and hang my head. This rumor can easily run rings around me of that I'm quite sure of. I look back around the room with the continuing quiet hum of patrons. The place probably fits into the odd category, too. It's a tad overbearing. That's one word for it, yes. I catch the eye of a skirting waiter, a short, scrawny guy no older than 20. He kind of reminds me of Kenji, though unlike him, the waiter isn't just for winter during midsummer. After a curt bow and offer to remove our plates, Lily asks for the bill politely and softly. With expert coordination, he maneuvers around the table as our plates in hand to retrieve our bill. In no time, he reappears through the door, smartly handing our bill to Lily, who promptly hands it to me, causing him to raise an eyebrow. As I read the small computer-printed leaflet, the cost is considerably more than I expected. Hisao, I quickly stammer out the amount to which Lily merely nods and reaches for her purse. Giving her card to the waiter, it disappears once again. That was a disproportionately large amount of money. The statement seems to make Lily slightly uncomfortable. My family leaves more than me. My family leaves me more than enough for my education. The same goes for my sister, though she dislikes being reminded of the fact. Yeah, but I hate Kenji so much. He's so annoying. He's such a jerk. I hate him. I hate him so much. I hate Kenji. I hate him. That said, I too dislike throwing money about, but this one I think I can make an exception just for you. Not only did you choose our date, but you paid for both of us as well. I take the bridge of my nose and my fingers. I can't believe how high you have set the bar for our next date. She gives a small giggle. I'll be looking forward to it, Hisao. I don't want to get the head. I hope I kill Kenji in the Kenji route. I hate that kid so much. The waiter reappears beside us as if by magic and hands Lily's card back to her. Evidently picking up her lack of sight, he places the card in her hand with an extra, perhaps unneeded amount of firmness to make sure of her grip. Leaving, he exercises a measure of diplomacy, wow, but keeping a neutral face about my own expression. No, Lily and Kenji are not a couple. I hope Kenji dies. Clapping my hands together, I stand up from my seat in order to bring an end to our night out. Yeah, no, Kenji was in a, so, Roman Vikings, someone told me that Kenji was, I mean, it might have been you, Kenji was actually in a relationship with the librarian. I'm like, ew. Shall I be off then, milady? Tips Fedora. Yeah, Kenji can die. I'm so mean. Oh, no, you're fine, It's all good, Huck stuff. Yeah, I read that it was actually confirmed somewhere. Like, someone on YouTube told me it was confirmed, and they gave me the source, and I'm like, ew. Yeah! Oh, I snap upwards out of my sheets and sit bolt upright in bed as if an electric shock had just run through my entire body. The night air feels cold against the sweat on my bare skin, my breathing short and rugged, nearly to the point of hyperventilation. Mind racing, I bring my hand to my head and attempt to soothe my body's panic state. It takes a number of seconds. That's not healthy. You should see a doctor. It takes me a number of seconds to realize my hand is shaking violently even as I press it against my face. More seconds pass in complete silence, my desperate attempts to subdue my body and mind slowly, thankfully working. What's going on? Gathering myself, I start taking measure of the state I'm in. She's just standing there all innocent. You're like, dear God! It feels like I've run a marathon, every muscle tense and sweat practically pouring off me. I carefully direct my attention to the beating in my chest, measuring out the rhythm in my head. Sure enough, my unreliable heart is functioning properly for once. Just what the hell was that? A heart attack? A bad nightmare? Medicine side effects? I've heard about panic attacks, and it does seem to have been the hallmarks of one. I can't even be bothered thinking about it right now. I feel utterly exhausted yet completely awake after this experience. What's going on? Wait. I look over to the other side of my bed, the pale white of the silent figure's face almost glowing in the nighttime darkness of the room. Just a sight of her enough as to calm me down significantly. Oh, my graceful demeanor, her graceful demeanor persists even while she's sleeping. Her perfectly measured breathing and gentle face making it impossible to tell whether she's awake or truly sleeping. Giving in the temptation, I delicately run my fingertips. They did this off camera. Is that why he's freaking out? Is that why he had the panic attack? I delicately run my fingertips over her hand. Her skin is soft to the touch as it always has been, yet warm even the cold night. It's at times like this, suddenly appreciating each other's presence, that I feel we're closest. But yeah, Michaela's a baby. I love her. My fingers stop at her wrist and bring my hand back to the bed beside me. I'm not entirely sure why, but as we become even closer to each other, it feels as if something's grew between us. I'm not entirely sure what it is, nor whether it existed before we'd fallen in love. Everything is... Yes, they are babies. I love them so much. Everything is moving so fast. I don't mind it at all, but it feels unlike Lily to be pushing things this much. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around. I love this song. We're gonna save. I've been playing this game. Sex, yes. Peter is cooler than Kenji because Kenji's a stupid piece of crap and I want him to die. But I love Peter. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around the sexy zucchinis in the hallways at this hour of the morning, lest I be interrogated while I'm carrying 2 plates of breakfast to my room while dressed in obviously hastily donned uniform. This isn't to say anything like this have never happened, of course, stupid sexy zucchini. Of course, a single security guard patrolling between 2 sets of bedrooms situated right next to each other is a very small force compared to adolescent hormones. Come to think of it, the fact that it's Monday morning probably helps. I'm not really sure why, but Mondays seem to bother me less than they do most others. He's not stupid, he's just saying it's, I don't know. It takes a little creative use on my hands and elbow, but eventually I managed to work the door to my dormitory room open. Aww. Stepping inside, I see Lily just getting up from the bed, entirely rubbing her eyes. She looks... It's so sexy and stupid. It's so true. She looks a mess like most of the other times I've seen her soon after she wakes. She really isn't a morning person. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. She groggily shakes her head. The morning light illuminating her makes her a very pleasant sight. It's okay, I needed to get up anyway. What time is it? I put my plate down on my desk and turned the clock around to check the time. Still early. Don't worry, there's plenty of time left before school. She sits on the side of the bed and begins to sniff the air. As she does, I quickly move her plate away and put it on the desk beside mine. Yes, I got us some breakfast. Shower and clothes come first, though. Oh, God. She stands still for a moment with her chin pointed slightly out. I gladly that word and press my lips to her, savoring the sauce feeling of her breaking off. That was very sudden. With a small, sweet smile, apparently quite satisfied, she slowly makes her way to the showers. Okay, it better not be anything bad. I stretch to try to wake up myself a little more. It was so sudden, a little taken aback. I'm like, oh dear God. Briefly looking at the steaming dishes on the desk. Rice, fish, miso soup, and some vegetables, a standard breakfast for a somewhat unusual day. I grab the bottles from my desk, start taking my daily regimen of pills. Sometimes I wonder what these things are even good for, given all the troubles I've had since the initial accident. I can't even say that it doesn't hurt to take them, considering the side effects so far. Well, whatever. Doctor's orders are that I have to take them, and rationality suggests that I'd be well set to trust his judgment over mine. It doesn't take long for the noise of the shower to see it's a quick one, apparently being fine for Lily given the circumstances. Emerging from the bathroom, she looks significantly more awake, having had the chance to collect herself. Without a word, I gently take her hand to mine and guide her to my desk. Considering I don't have a table in my room as she does, it'll have to do. Thank you, Hisao. What did you prepare for breakfast? Just rice and some vegetables, something fast. I know, she looks so cute and beautiful. Her face lights up at the revelation. That's quite a breakfast. This is normal for you. Now she's just being nice. I have little doubt, considering her past, that this isn't exactly a high-class meal by her standards. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just because we're students doesn't mean we can't take it lightly. That's my belief anyway. From what others I have talked to have said, I might be in the minority. I love Diana. Yes, perfect. I take a seat on my side of my Diana Cavendish from Little Witch Academia. Oh my god, I love Diana. I take a seat on the side of my bed and begin eating together with Lily, her chopsticks slightly tapping on the outlines of the vegetables, just so I noticed her doing the Diana banana during our date. This is quite nice, Hisao. I had no idea you couldn't cook this well. This time she's much more genuine, I can tell that much. That said, cooking really isn't anything special at all. After a bit of practice, it's pretty easy to make a simple dish. Most of the credit goes to modern technology. Still, after years of cooking for myself, I should hope so. I got bored of eating instant noodles and ordering pizza every time my parents were both working, so I taught myself how to make a few meals. I'm still trying to get the knack of it, though. You'll make a good wife someday. So, male wife. Hold on, I need to drink some water. I take a grain of rice and place it on my thumb before carefully taking aim and giving it a good flick. Waifu, yes. Lily jumps a little bit as I hit her cheek right on target. I can't help chuckling at a little expense as she lowers her brow and tries to address her assume a harsh and serious expression. Oh, that's right. What is it? Did you have any problem sleeping last night? You seemed restless. Yes. So she was awake back then, or at least partly so. Whether it was my heart or a nightmare caused by the side effects of my medicine, the last thing I want for her is to be worrying about me even more. Even before my relationship with Lily, I had felt my body was a drag on everything I did. My body is my burden alone, so as long as I'm with her, I'll continue to act as normally as possible. No, not particularly. Is that so? That's good then. Luckily she seems to take me at my word. She's like, you're not lying, but I am. Come to think of it, there's something else I wanted to ask. Oh? How should I put it? When you dream, do you see people and objects? Yes, of course Oh. I feel more than a little sheepish for that slip of tongue, however earnest it may be. Lily looks unperturbed, though. It would be Kenji. Kenji's worse than any evil person ever. But you don't taste, feel, nor smell things? I moved to answer but found myself stuck thinking about it. I feel and taste and smell. I do all those things. My dreams are always so crazily vivid. The more I mull over the hypothesis is correct. That's true, I guess. I never looked at it that way. Are you saying that you do? But for the most part, I only hear in dreams. But yes, sometimes I touch and smell things as well. But I do all those things. I'm just asking since Akira thought it was very strange that I did when I brought it with her. If you don't either, then maybe it's due to my blindness. That would make sense. You rely on your other senses more than me, so maybe that affects your dream as well. The wonders of the human body, I guess. Akira. For the rest of the time before school, we quietly eat the hearty breakfast in front of us, changing a few small pieces of small talk as we do. Hey, it's their beautiful mural from earlier. A quick peek out the door assures nobody's looking directly at the entrance for the boys' dormitory, so you walk out with the path clear. Ah, the weather's good today. I stretch as Lee and I make our way outside, the bright morning sun beaming down on us. By now, a few students can be seen doing the same, making their way to the main school buildings either from the dorms or through the main gate. It does feel nice and warm. Good night, Hack Stuff. Thank you for coming on. Have a good night. I'm waving even though you can't see me. It does feel nice and warm. Our hands linked and our cane tapping the ground, we begin in earnest our trip to the school building and join the chatting throngs of students around us. This would be the last day of exams, no? Yeah, how are you doing in them? Fairly well, all things considered. You seem a bit stressed by them, though. It's that obvious, huh? I don't think it's just the exams, though. A lot of stuff's been happening in a short amount of time. I'm not doing that well in the humanities subjects. You're doing really well in science, though, aren't you? Well, it'd be hard not to do well in science for me. Come to think of it, didn't you say before you weren't very good at science and maths? She suddenly looks very sheepish, my remark no doubt hitting home. Lily's sense of pride can really be double-edged sword. Well, aside from that, have you ever given thought to what you might do with that ability? It seems a pity to waste it. A bit, wasn't Mateo's prompting. In any case, I'll probably end up doing something as a career, doing science as a career in some form. That's good to hear, Hisao. Oh no. Oh no. Huck Stuff, you're missing Kenji. I hate him. Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Good. Hey, just been busy lately with the exams and stuff. Exams like shmams. A true Renaissance man needs no sight to excel in such things. I hate him. I hate him. Yeah, I know, right? Huck Stuff, where'd you go? Kenji does strike me as the kind of person that does well in school. Even if he has a horrid attendance record and a poor work ethic, I have little reason to doubt his ability. To be honest, I'm a little envious of him. Between studying for exams and my time with Lily, in fact, I had no time to myself. Maybe this is a bit like how Yuko feels. Good morning, Sato. It's good to hear you're doing well. I feel slightly honestly Lily speaking, so it's a good theme. I just hate him. She's come to address me more casually over the months, so I have seen her speak more formally to classmates from time to time as well. Some people never change, I guess. Not that I say her calm and polite manner is a bad thing. It is one of the reasons I like being around her to begin with, after all. He's like, Kenji seems to take a moment to work out who it is beside me. I probably hasn't been noticed us holding hands either. I wonder if those glasses of his actually do anything. Oh, hey, Lily. Good luck on your exams, too. I'll see you after school then, man. The slight edge to his voice makes me think those words are meant to be an imperative rather than a casual farewell. I'll guess I'll have to smooth things over later. Sure, see ya. Yeah, get out of here, I hate you. He's so mad. Kenji nods curtly. He moves to pass by us, but he's too busy glaring in Lily's general direction to take notice of her cane. Before I can Oh no, before I can try to react and save the situation, Kenji trips and reflexively reaches out for a handhold, and unfortunately said handhold turns out to be Lily's arm. Whoa! Whoa! Ah! Both fall to the ground in a sprawling heap, with me left feeling rather helpless. Ah, damn, are you two okay? Kenji quickly rises back up, seemingly unfazed by the accident. No problem, man, no problem. This is nothing. My body can take much worse abuse. No, not until I kill you. Lily lies face down on the grass. She doesn't look hurt by the incident, more startled than anything. I move closer to offer her my help. Are you alright, Lily? Hey, Sato? Kenji offers her a hand, tentatively touching her to let her know what she's doing. Oh, I messed up with the voice. He says some odious things at times, but I do think he may be a generally good person at heart. I imagine he feels pretty bad about this. To his surprise and mine, Lily pounds on the ground with her fist without warning. Damn it! What's going on? Kenji freezes, entirely caught by surprise at her outburst. I'm just as shocked. She never acted like this before, not even around Shizune. I'm so concerned. Seemingly only now remembering that there are people around her, Lily slowly climbs to her feet. Her face as she does makes me retreat a little. Oh, I only catch a glimpse of her expression before she turns away, but it's not something I'll forget soon. Oh my gosh, she showed plenty of annoyance during her clashes with Shizune, but this flash of anger is something else. There's no way this is just about a petty incident. What's going on? She pauses for a moment before sighing and walking on ahead. I really don't know what to make of this. I'll, talk to you later, dude. See you. Yeah, see ya. Kenji scratches the back of his head, trying to find something to say, then shrugs and walks away, giving us a wide berth. I don't want to go to sleep even though I should, because it just keeps getting better and better. I quickly catch up to Lily. She turns her head a little to acknowledge my presence, but nothing else. I should probably scold her for lashing out like that, but I also don't want to get into a shouting match with her. She's still very obviously annoyed. In the end, I keep my mouth shut and wait for her to cool off. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened to her? After a quiet walk in, we eventually reach the top of the third floor of stairs in the junction where we part every day. Aw, I turn to Lily before she leaves. While I do like the comfortable and warm silences we usually share, this is anything but. I don't want to leave things like this. You seem quieter than usual recently. Is anything wrong? She shakes her head almost automatically as if to spell any notion that I need to worry about her. It's just the exams taking their toll. I'll be fine. I don't think that's the reason I very nearly say so, but decide against it. There's no point trying to draw it out of her if she doesn't want to tell me, especially when she's in a foul mood like this. If you're sure, I'll see you later then. As I turn down the hall to go to my classroom, Lily's soft voice rings out behind me. Hisao, yeah? I'm sorry. With that, Lily makes off down the hallway to her own classroom, her hands skating along the metal railings. I stand still and watch her until she turns into her classroom and out of sight before going to my own class with a fair measure of reluctance. What's going on? Let's save. That was crazy. Why would she... I'm so confused. Why... What? As usual, I'm early. Mateo is fiddling with folders and papers on his desk as he prepares for the day, while a handful of students mill about chatting away. I know, poor thing. She hates Kenji too. See, Kenji's just the worst possible thing ever. What if she's probably just about a cure or something? I don't know. My feelings about Lily haven't dissipated far from her mention of my exam performance did remind me that I have my own life's journey to attend to. After thinking about it, I have realized I do generally want to pursue science in some form as a career, rather than simply being the path of least resistance. I just want to go back to Lily! Until now, though, I didn't have much of an idea of where in the field I wanted to go. Just science is a pretty broad category of jobs. Something Lily mentioned earlier focused my thoughts. We need to crucify Kenji. We need to stab him to death. Something I'd only idly pondered about before. I'd not seriously considered following a specific path. I walk up to Matu's desk, his attention too focused on preparing for the day's lessons to notice my approach. It's the same every day. Good morning. He looks up with an expression of mild surprise that's quickly replaced by a typical awkward smile. Good morning, Nakai. Can I help you? Do you mind if I ask you something? He looks down at his messy pile of books on the desk before putting down the papers in his hand, standing up with some difficulty to properly address me. That's what I'm here for, after all. Ask away. I was just wondering, what would you say is the motivation behind teaching? He thinks on this question for a few moments before responding, evidently far from having a prepared answer. If you talk to 10 different teachers, I think you'll get 10 different answers to that question. While I can only speak for myself, I say that I teach because... He sinks into thought again, carefully assessing the way he wishes to present his idea. Think of it this way. When you were a child, you probably played with sticks and pebbles and moving water such as the gutter or puddles, right? Yeah, I think a lot of people do that when they're young. Well, it's not just when they're young for some, but though it does take on another form. My point is, though, that when one is doing that, they're curious about how the water will flow or be changed. Everyone, even at that young age, possesses an intense wonderment about how the world around them works, even in its smallest forms. I still feel the sense of wonderment about the universe. Even just reading about new discoveries or classic experiments, I don't know. Gives me a renewed sense of awe at how marvelous everything is, from the farthest stars to the smallest puddle. I just hope that I can give others even a small piece of that wonderment I feel. If I can do that, even if it's just for one person, I think I can be happy as a teacher. He's like, He scratches his head as he mentally reviews what he said. I feel like I understand him better now. Even if he's awkward around others, he does have a genuine want to be around them and offer them a piece of himself that he values. What Lily told me yesterday rings in my ears. I think you'll get all along well with others. She always did say I was unusually curious. Sorry if that was a little meandering. Does it answer your question? It does, thank you. I also had another question actually. Oh, what might that be? Do you have any college brochures or guides? It's about time I start getting us some applications in. He nods and bends down to look inside his desk. As he does so, I notice that he is wearing a remarkably genuine smile. Oh, I don't think I've really seen him act this way and not act this natural around others. Perhaps it isn't Mateo the teacher, but rather Mateo the person. Here, if you need any more, feel free to ask. He hands me about half a dozen brochures and booklets of various colors and sizes, which I take eagerly. No. Too rude. Yes, it will be this information which I'll use to forge my own future. I think now, after all this time and all these trials, I can finally start to see the big picture of my life ahead of me. My body may be like this, my mind is still very much able. Thank you. Oh god, what's going on? What's going on? I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared I'm gonna throw up. This is strange. That single thought has graced my mind a countless number of times since my life here began. It feels like an easy way to I'm so scared. It feels like an easy... Oh no, what's going on? As it simply labels something with all those words will make it go away, or at least not worth thinking about any farther. My life before my heart attack feels more blurry every time I try to remember it, and my mind struggles to keep up with all the events that have been happening around me since. I'm so scared. I heard somewhere that this is what it feels like to be left stranded in a country with only the most basic understanding of the local language. I'm so scared. Indeed, when I think about it, that seems a marvelously apt analogy for what's happening to me. My stomach is like churning, I'm so scared. But such situations are also supposed to make you very capable in that language very fast, as you're forced to learn it in order to survive. Put another way, the situation becomes sink or swim. I wonder if I really managed to swim after all this time. The exams are stressing me out a lot, even though they're finally coming to an end. But now I have remained in Mutu's favor, and I have some sort of direction for my future now. But I keep using that stupid meaningless phrase. This is strange. It really is amazing how fast one comes to accept being surrounded by people with sometimes incredibly jarring disabilities and conditions. So much so that I really wonder why I feel so much like a foreigner. It certainly isn't for a lack of socialization of friends. I've come to know most of my classmates as first name turns and know a few others around the school. Whether they're missing an arm or a leg, the students here are just like anyone else of their age. I can navigate the halls that I once lost myself in with the ease I'm not expected to ever have. Thanks to the school's logical layout, I can engage in teachers in comfortable discussion. No, is Lily not there? I swirl around gently the tea in my cup, the reflected image of my face becoming distorted by the moving liquid. This is strange, I used to hate drinking tea. Maybe I'm thinking too much. The familiar sound of china rattling from my teacup touching an accompanying saucer rings out. Is something the matter? Don't worry, it's nothing. I don't know, but I take a long sip of the tea in front of me as the girls do, just wheeling the way time. He's with Lily. It feels familiar, almost nostalgic. So how's your work in the newspaper club going, Hanako? I want to know too. It sounds like it'd be quite interesting. What? But like, I know, but why is the music so intense? What's the song called? It's called Stride. Hanako's face turns out at the attention placed upon her, though her smile belies the fact that she generally likes being the center of interest for the two of us. It's good. I think I'm getting better at it. Oh no, poor baby. Naomi and a couple of her friends handle most of the jobs, getting stories and stuff. I just do the computer things like putting the stories together and getting it printed. It's nice, so I can sit and concentrate. I see Lily's low-tech nature isn't shared by Hanako. While sitting in a room compiling other people's newspaper articles into documents doesn't strike me as overly outgoing. It's disheartening to see her winding her circle of friends. Baby steps, I guess. It's probably a bit much to expecting her to become a socialite like Lily. How are you finding Naomi? I've heard she can be quite troublesome at times. And Lily is going into her mothering mode over Hanako, letting go of her something she had to learn. Oh, Hanako scratches her cheek, thinking on her answer. Naomi's nice. She's a bit loud sometimes and a bit tiring, but she's really helpful. Her friends are nice too. That's wonderful to hear, Hanako. I'm glad you found a source of such enjoyment. Lily's smile is warm and genuine, but I can sense a touch of wistfulness to it as well. Hanako seems to miss that entirely, but I don't think for a second that I'm imagining it. I suppose it's because I've slowly come to pay more and more attention to everything going on around me. With things seemingly happening faster and faster, it feels like I'll miss something if I'm not as observant as possible. With the exams, my newfound love life, trying to fit in some studying regarding my options for college and university, and my heart condition applying the brakes to everything at irritatingly random times, my brain's been in overdrive recently. It makes me appreciate the rare quiet times such as these. I guess this is why Lily came to appreciate her weekly walks to the convenience store and her tea parties with Hanako. Despite her like of being surrounded by others, they gave her a moment of peace in a chaotic and busy life. Thank God the exams are over, eh? The comment draws an earnest chuckle from both of the girls. It seems like everybody's been a lot happier since the exams ended last week. So what are you doing for the summer holidays, Hanako? I quickly count the days in my head. Today's Monday and school finishes on Saturday. 5 days to go after all. I was thinking of traveling. Just around a bit. Oh my god. There's a lot of places I want to see, and I think I have enough money to pay for the bus and train rides. Naomi and one of the other girls in the newspaper club said they might come along too. Her look indicates she's giving the matter quite a lot of thought. Ew, imagine being in school. I'm kind of surprised that she's contemplating something like this. Nice, how'd you do, if you don't mind me asking? It seems she's really become intent on striking out on her own. Good for her. Is there anywhere in particular you're thinking of going? I was thinking that Kyoto sounds nice. I think I'll try to go a few places though. Lily nods in approval, happy with Hanako's plans. While I cast my eyes to Lily, I refrain from asking her the same question. She's been evasive with her plans for the future for a long time now. Nice! That's awesome! congratulate you're humble. But I never seem to get a good time to broach the subject alone with her. Every time it comes up in conversation, I feel like she's either unsure of herself or simply jotting the question. It's troubling and my back really itches. Hold on. I can't reach where it's itching. Okay. Be sure to call sometime when you're out and about. I gave you a number for, right? Hanako gives a quick nod, a happy smile on her face. Oh, baby. How am I? I'm good, if that you were asking. It's strange to see how happy people seem to become when they have a goal to work towards. Yuko seems to brighten whenever her university aspirations are brought up. Aspirations! And how now Hanako is just the same. So why do I still feel this uncertainty? And why Lily, too? Relationships can be Mood. Can be irritating and troublesome sometimes. Yes. What time is it? Oh. It takes me a second to remember that Lily's clock doesn't have any visual feedback. I should really know, given how many times I've been in her room. Nevertheless, I take my watch from my bag and quickly check it, the reason for her asking becoming clear. It's about 20 past 10, nearly curfew. Hanako rises to her feet, dusting herself off and neatening her gown after doing so. I better get going then. Good night, Lily, Hasao. Sleep well, Hanako. See you tomorrow. With that, she walks to the door and quickly makes her exit. Ugh. Silence. This seems to be happening more and more between Lily and me recently. After a few seconds, I finally find something to talk about. No, I don't think so, because there was a... I don't know, because it was kind of awkward earlier, because Lily got really mad, and I'm kind of scared to see what's going on. Oh yeah, I talked to Mateo on Friday. I finally checked out some guides on college and how to apply for it. That's good news. If you're going to be applying for colleges, I assume you have some idea in mind of what you... Roman, Viking, tell me. I think I settled on becoming a science teacher. It's going to take... What's on my finger? Okay. It's going to take a while to get through university and everything to be qualified, but I think it'll be worth it. I'm scared. Do I have a bad ending? Lily's face brightens considerably at the news. I suppose with her wish to become a teacher, she's glad I take the same kind of path. So, you decided on a career teaching. I think that path suits you most excellently, Hasao. I smile and nod. This time, even if I know she can't see me doing so, I know she feels it. I imagine Mutu would have taken the news to the news well. That's one word for it. Hey, Lily? I'm so scared. Hey, Lily? Yes? Oops. I know you want to be a teacher, but for a second I wondered whether I should really ask her the question on my mind, but that's quickly brushed aside by the fact that this is rather late to have second thoughts. Surely you don't still think I'd be offended by something regarding my blindness. Her accusing tone is betrayed by her grinning face to amuse my awkwardness in raising the topic. Some things never change. Good point, I guess. I was just thinking about whether or not being blind would be a hindrance. Really? What the heck? With what your ambitions to become a teacher and all. She looks mildly surprised by giving the question some thought. I feel to think she's never actually pondered this issue before. I wonder, Hasao, could you close your eyes for a moment? Oh, okay. Sounds good. Raising an eyebrow, I do as she requests. I have no idea what she has in mind, and my questions only increase to peek out from one eye. Taking the black ribbon, she... Wait, what? I'm scared. I'm really scared. Taking the black ribbon she usually wears in her hair from the cabinet beside her bed, she advances toward me while running it through her fingers to remove any stray hairs remaining on the piece of cloth. What? What? Okay. Am I changing the screen? Okay, hold on. Is that what I'm doing? Okay, let's see. Hold on. Oh, I'm an idiot. I had the wrong thing off. I'm stupid. I turned off the wrong audio. Is it good for me to come back? I'm scared. Roman Viking! Respond! Because nothing even happened. Nothing even happens. Can you hear me now? But nothing happens. Nothing bad happens. So they were just talking about, yeah, nothing bad happens. So yeah, sorry, I turned off the wrong, I turned off the desktop audio. I turned off the microphone, not the desktop audio. But yeah, the blindfold, he's kinda, yeah, nothing happened. They were just, no. Point? But like, yeah, because he ran into a table, but nothing... Yeah, okay, I was like, what the heck happened? In regard to teaching, sight isn't that important. There are plenty of classes taught by entirely blind teachers, and more than enough resources for me to learn the subject. It's as simple as that, really. I slump my shoulders and give a snort of amusement. Yeah, I understand. I guess we'll both have to work to reach our goals then. What is it? With a little hesitation... Okay, now what am I doing? Lily pushes her chin and gives her eyes a mystical gent. Okay. Well, now they're kissing. I accept gladly, our lips touching. As I do, I suddenly... I thought you said it was over. Okay, now I'm switching back. Hold on. Okay, now you guys should be able to hear me. Oh, God. I can't believe you. Oh, now, okay. So, I see. So she had the blindfold, but we weren't quite there yet. So now we're doing it. Okay, now it's gonna, let's see, let's see. Let's see. It's kind of getting spicy. Thank you. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, let's see. Let's see. It's showing the shrimp again. It's showing... You are preventing me from being banned, but it doesn't actually show anything. Let's see. More, I want more. I can... Oh, God. Now he's gonna die. He's gonna die, guys. Oh, God. He's doing it too hard. This pain is too much. Ah! Let's see. So, oh God, he's gonna die again. Okay, my heart is normal. It's back to normal. Okay. Lily? Sarah, are you okay? I'll go back in a second. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can come back now? Okay. Yeah, he is, but then, and then, he, like, yeah, almost died, literally, because he has a heart condition. Pity. Pity. Lily pities me. I just close my eyes and turn away powerless. I feel like throwing up. Oh, sorry. She slowly shakes the head. She finishes buttoning up her top. Her smile kind of looks like so fragile good that it makes my heart sink. Approaching carefully, she feels out the edge of the low table, taking a seat next to me, putting her arms around my chest. Aww. I guess I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far. Oh, coming to next to her, this is the pride letting the adrenaline work itself out of my system, letting my life relax. Oh, 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 this is so sad. This is so sad. It's a soft, almost melancholic tune. It seems familiar, but the more I try to remember its order, the less I see to concentrate. Wait. How exhausted have I become? I can feel my eyelids slowly becoming heavier and heavier. Even with the chaos of before, I wish this moment would last forever. Lily and I together, sharing a single solitary occasion together just as we used to. But if that's the case, why does she feel farther away than she's ever felt before? I need to go to sleep. I have work tomorrow. I'll give it 15 more minutes. Oh god. The loud clatter of books falling into the return slot abruptly breaks the grip of my silence over the school library. It's become a habit for me to come to the library at least once a week. Not only does the reading itself help keep me busy, but discussing books with Hanako and Lily also does. Obviously started, Yuko suddenly twists towards the direction of the noise. I'd have thought her used to people dropping books by now, but since she does work here. Oh, hello, Hisao. Back again? It takes me home to respond. My mind so distracted by the familiar melody of Lily's humming that it's hardly left my ears, and the several days after it's been since I fell asleep to it. Aww. Oh, yeah, she does. Just returning some books I borrowed. She cast her eyes downward, presumably to the bin the books dropped into. You're a very heavy reader, aren't you? That was rude. It's become a bit of routine now. Passes the time at least. I wish I had free time to pass from small talk to depression in less than 5 seconds. I think that's a new record for her. She seems to sit down. She's a bit down general today, even compared to normal. Considering she has to work 2 jobs just to support herself, I could see how that would take a toll on her lifestyle. Come to think of it, to pay for a job, she can't be all that bad. The idea of staff in such a prestigious private school going hungry strikes me as a counterintuitive. Working 2 jobs must take a lot of time. I'd probably never manage it. You're lucky being a student. Do you think you'll be able to go to university? If she's asking, then I guess that's the expected result of having this education. Private school like this don't usually exactly come cheap. I guess. I have the money, I think. I've got plans which will require going to one, and my grades are good enough. It's more of a matter of how I'll pay to do so. University costs so much I'm having to work 2 jobs to afford to enter it. Paying for daily expenses too makes it a lot harder. If you're reading this much though, that means you're doing well in school, right? Interesting logical jump. Not an altogether wrong one though. I suppose so. I didn't find any of the exams very hard, aside from maybe 1 or 2. Do you mind if I ask what studies you're pursuing in university? Oh, Yuko appears to generally brighten up at the question. Anthropology, to be statistic, that's cool. I'm specializing in the history of classical era Athenian civilization and democracy. Okay, I don't think I can go another 15 minutes. I think I should probably go to sleep because I have to work tomorrow morning. So, let's save here. Okay. I will return next Thursday, but you guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I kind of cut out there when I turned off the wrong audio, but you guys have a great night, okay? Thank you.